Okay, so one last video about small dogs and harnesses because it's so important on getting the right one for their safety, for their impulse control, and just getting them started on the right track, okay? So again, you got a small dog, you're going to go to the pet store, you're going to have lots of choices, right? So this is a common harness that you can get. I actually really like it. It's soft. It's simple. It's a one-clasp Velcro option. So this is just one I happen to have here. And so let me show you how easy it is. If you can find one like this, get it. Okay? So I tell all my patients and all my neighbors who get little small dogs to get. Really nice. 2 front legs go in it. Then you just put the little clasp in through a little slit here, just like that. And then you can attach the leash. Another good reason to always have a harness and a small leash. You don't want this big bulky leash, guys. You want a simple little clasp, little dog, little leash. But it's also a tether. God forbid, this dog jumps, you've got one extra little safety tether. This kind of hugs the dog, so it makes them feel more hugged. Everybody wants to be hugged. So this is one of my most favorite and most common, simple, safe. They really can't get out of this unless it's too big harness, okay? So small dog, this is what you want, all right? Very simple, very easy. This is the most common harness that people get. All right, so sure, you can get one, but who wants this? This is old school, guys. You got to put it on their head. Then you got to roll it down. You got to put one leg in each hole. Then you got to strap it back. It gets kind of a little bit more difficult. And then what happens is these things kind of squiggle around. You got to find your place for your leash. I just don't like them. But I think the other thing that happens with these guys, especially when they're teething, especially if it's too loose, they'll hook their jaw on it. It'll gag them. I've seen some dogs panic because they're just playing. They're just chilling out, relaxing. They're teething. Then they hook a paw through there or a tooth, and they can actually injure themselves. So another reason why I don't like that. Everybody knows, everybody doesn't know about this here. Again, this is not something you're going to see at a regular pet store. You might. These are really good for the little toy cup, teacup little ones, where you want a little bit more security than that. Slips over their head, goes around, and then it clasps. This is actually not this little one's harness. It's my other dog's harness. If you put one of these on, though, you want to loosen it and adjust it. So this is too big, but it's out there for the really small little ones. See how this puppy is teething, guys? If you're getting a puppy, always get a rope toy, too. You want a rope toy with 2 knots on each end so that when you're doing something, they can be chewing on that or teething on that. You can always redirect them with that. And one last tip for all dogs, but even small dogs, everybody's always scared of a dog who growls, and they're trying to correct that. What you don't want to do with any dog when they're puppies is you don't want to get on your hands and knees and do hand-to-hand combat and wrestle. Guys like to do that. You don't want to do that until they're over 6 months of age because they're teething. You're kind of creating some issues where they're going to want to mouth you. But you can give them a rope toy if you want to play rough with, not rough, but if you want to be a little bit more hands-on, let them kind of get a little bit more of their little puppy play out. Then you get a rope toy, and if they grab it and tug on it, you just want that rope toy to be long enough where your hands aren't touching their mouth. And if they're growling with a rope toy, that's okay. If you have a different dog who you approach too quickly, or you're approaching a dog and they're growling scares people. So a lot of times when people hear a growl, whether it's their own dog or a different dog, they get really scared. If it's your own dog, Don't be tempted to discipline or scold or point at your dog who's growling. You're just going to create fear. If that's how you handle growling, guys, you scold them and it scares you, and you continue to do that, you're actually telling a really smart dog to stop communicating and skip the growl and go to the bite. And is that really what you want to do? So the days of not listening to our pets and trying to be alpha or dominant are far from over. Please, anybody who tells you be alpha, be dominant, you need to use your hands, you need to do something like that, they don't know what they're talking about. Positive, patient, kind is really important. I like to have my dogs listen to me, not without using my hands. Really, really, really important. If a dog is growling at you, take a step back. Dogs have the right to say no. They have the right to be scared, and that's important. Take a step back. You can always get a dog to stop doing something or let something go if you have something of higher value. Okay, so just remember that. All right, body language is important. You going forward when you're seeing bad body language is just putting yourself in an issue and making a dog more fearful. Don't do that. All right? Thank you.